Christopher Lawrence Bongo. Please proceed.
Mr. President, my honorable colleagues, and of course the Department of Education officials led by Vice President Sara Duterte, magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. First, I want to express my support for the budget of the Department of Education, and I would also like to congratulate the Vice President and the DepEd for launching the Matatag Curriculum, Bansang Makabata, Batang Makabansa Agenda. This program definitely marks a crucial moment in our nation's educational landscape, and I believe it will play a crucial role in addressing the challenges that we face in our education system. The Matatag program is truly a testament to the visionary leadership of the Vice President and the Secretary of the Department of Education. With this, Mr. President, I would also like to express my support for the increase in the budget of basic education facilities, which was allotted with an additional of 10 billion or a 44% increase from this year's allocation. Importante po ito para matugunan ang kakulangan sa mga classroom, lalo na ngayong balik na tayo sa face-to-face na po ang mga estudyante at mga guro. Marapat lamang po na mabigyan ng pansin at solusyon ang mga problemang kinakaharap ng ating mga estudyante dahil sa kanila nakasalalay ang kinabukasan po ng ating bansa. As discussed in the committee hearings, there is a total of 159,000 classrooms that must be constructed all over the country to bridge the classroom gap. In fact, sa pag-iikot ko po sa buong bansa, halos inilalapit po sa atin ng mga teachers, kulang ang kanilang mga classrooms, lalong-lalo na po sa mga liblib na komunidad, kulang talaga yung mga classrooms. Marami po ang nagpapatulong sa atin at nilalapit naman natin ito sa departamento, yung mga kakulangan po sa classrooms. Napansin ko rin po na may mga eskwelahan pa rin na hindi maganda ang kondisyon, sira-sira ang bubong o yero pa rin ang bubong, hindi maayos ang silid-aralan, maruruming palikuran, kahoy na pundasyon at marami pang iba. Pati po, yun po ang hinaing ng mga teachers natin. In fact, nung bumoto po ako nung last barangay election, mismo po doon sa syudad, kung saan po ang ating Vice President sa Davao City, marami po mga sementado na mga classrooms, pero marami pang naiiwan na mga classrooms na kahoy po yung bubong, sira-sira yung yero. So talagang kahit sa mismo sa Davao City, kulang pa ang ating mga classrooms. Hinaing po yan ng ating mga teachers. Inilapit po sa atin. I just want to share that when I voted, recently po yan, last October
30.
Kailan yun? October 30. I witnessed firsthand the sorry state of the facilities in Buhangin Central Elementary School. May sementado, may kahoy po. Paano po makapag-aral na maayos sa mga bata kung yero po ang kanilang bubong, napakainit niyan kung kapag tanghali at hindi rin makatulong kapag umuulan. That is why I am with the Vice President and the DepEd in their efforts to improve basic education facilities. And I support, Mr. President, increases in the budget for this program. Second, Mr. President, as DBM Secretary Pangandaman mentioned during the DBCC committee hearing and during plenary interpellations, there is around 17 billion already earmarked for Salary Standardization 6 in the proposed 2024 budget. With this, government workers may expect increases in salary next year. Sana po matuloy ito at isa po tayo sa magsusulong nito at kasama po dito ang ating mga teachers. Nevertheless, I just want to take this opportunity to urge the DepEd to push for the needed increase in salaries and allowances of teachers. Pag-aralan po natin kung anong benepisyo po ang dapat ibigay sa ating mga guro bukod po sa kanilang sweldo. Despite the pressing challenges in public education during the pandemic, teachers were able to adapt and respond to the challenging work situations. They went above and beyond to ensure the delivery of education for their learners. It is therefore just incumbent upon us to recognize their devotion and invaluable contribution to the formation of our youth and society. Additionally, Mr. President, I would like to mention for the record the reduction in the proposed budget of the National Academy of Sports. As one of the authors of this law, along with the sponsor, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Sani Angara, and Senator Win Gatchalian, during the 18th Congress, we want to highlight the importance of NAS in developing the athletic skills and talents of the students in world-class sports facilities while also focusing on their secondary education. Dito po sa NAS, pwede silang mag-aral, yung mga atleta at the same time mag-training, pwede po silang mag-training at the same time mag-aral. Wala pong masasakripisyong oras. Despite the additional budget for capital outlay and personal services in the committee report, hope we could find ways to further support the provision of scholarships of National Academy of Sports. Lastly, Mr. President, I laud the Senate for adding 3 billion in the budget of the Department of Education. At sisingit ko na lang po, hinahangaan ko po si Vice President Sara Duterte for no longer pursuing the request for confidential funds so that we could already settle this divisive issue. Nananatili po ang aking tiwala sa ating Vice Presidente at sa ating Secretary po ng DepEd. Isang boto lang po ako dito sa Senado, pero bilang kasapi po ng Senate Committee on Basic Education at Vice Chair po ng Committee on Finance, ang posisyon ko, kung ano man po ang tinanggal na budget sa DepEd, dapat itong ibalik sa pamamagitan ng mga programa na makakabenepisyo sa mga kababayan natin, lalong-lalo na po sa mga classrooms na backlog natin. At ang makikinabang po dito dapat yung mga kababayan nating mahihirap. Hinggil naman po sa OBP, sana po mailaan natin ang mga programang makakatulong, lalong-lalo na po sa mga mahihirap, katulad po ng medical, burial, and other assistance po na alam naman natin na nakakatulong po sa mga kababayan nating mahirap. Ngayon, isinasayos na natin ang budget para sa susunod na taon. Unahin na po natin sana ang trabaho, unahin natin ang pagserbisyo at tulong po sa mga mahirap nating kababayan. That is all, Mr. President. I have no doubt that with the leadership of Vice President Sara Duterte and the continued support of all stakeholders, the Department of Education will achieve even greater milestones for our students and the education sector as a whole. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Bongo. Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, next to ask questions, Mr. President, is the distinguished gentleman.
Yeah. Actually, may opening statement pa po.
Yes, Mr. President,
May you recognize
may I
the
just
sponsor? Yes.
move that we recognize the sponsor of the measure, the Senior Vice Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Pia Cayetano. So move,
Senator
Mr. President.
Cayetano is recognized.
Thank you. Just to put on record, Mr. President, the budget. I'm ready to sponsor the budget of the Department of Education, the Office of the Secretary, with a total new appropriations of 715,839,092,000 pesos. Also, the Early Childhood Care and Development Council with a total new appropriations of 290,166,000 pesos. The National Academy of Sports with a total new appropriation of 230,587,000 pesos. The National Book Development Board with a total new appropriation of 178,471,000 pesos. The National Council for Children's Television with a total new appropriation of 82,080,000 pesos. The National Museum of the Philippines with a total new appropriation of 1,364,202,000 pesos. And the Philippine High School for the Arts with a total new appropriation of 98,241,000 pesos. With this, Your Honor, I'm ready to accept questions from our colleagues.
Thank you very much, dear sponsor, Majority Floor Leader, who are next in line to propound some questions. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, first to ask questions on the budget of the Department of Education is no less than the distinguished gentleman from the great province of Isabela and the Davao region, no other than Senator Raffy Tulfo. I move that he be recognized.
Our distinguished colleague from Isabela and Davao, no other than Senator Raffy Tulfo, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Pia Cayetano. Mr. President, I would like to put it on record that I fully support the 715 billion pesos or more the budget of DepEd for 2024. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. However, just like before during the committee hearing, I just had some few concerns, and those concerns weren't really answered because for the lack of time, and I was informed that I need to produce certain documents to justify some things that I did mention during that particular hearing. Ang concern ko lang po talaga, for the longest time,
May I just, before the gentleman proceeds, the Senate version is now 718.08
okay,
billion pesos.
718. Let's make it 719.
No, we have to be accurate on it.
Okay, sige.
718.08 billion.
Like I said, I don't have any problem whatsoever pagdating po sa budget ngayon for 2024 para sa
Thank you.
DepEd. Wala po tayong question dyan. Regardless, kahit na po medyo kumulang, wala pa rin po akong problema.
Thank you.
Para maging klaro po tayo. Ang problema ko, ang issue ko lang po kasi, for so many years po, sa programa ko sa Wanted sa radyo, palagi po ako nakakatanggap ng reklamo mula sa mga magulang ng mga estudyante sa elementary at high school na karamihan sa kanila ay mga mag-aaral, mga magulang na mag-aaral ng mga security guard, kasambahay, factory worker, na sila po ay naobliga mag-contribute na require ng eskwelahan through PTA para sa iba't ibang mga pangangailangan tulad ng electric fan, tulad ng jobos, tulad ng bond paper, tulad ng pambayad para sa sweldo ng security guard, sweldo ng janitor, para sa utility bills, etc., etc., etc. Na hindi po dapat dahil meron man po talaga budget ang DepEd dyan through the MOOE. Now, paano po nakukolekta itong perang ito? Para magkaroon po tayo ng idea lahat. Ang nangyari po ay dinadaan sa PTA, Parents Teachers Association. Now, pag-start po ng school year, nagpapatawag po ang PTA ng General Assembly. At pagdating po dun sa General Assembly, magbobotohan sila muna ng mga officers. Right after na maboto po yung officers, ang next agenda agad ay maghahanap sila ng proyekto, kailangan nila mag-identify ng proyekto para sa eskwelahan. At ano po yung mga proyektong yon? Yun po yung mga gastusin na akin pong binanggit. Okay. Now, I want to put a stop to it. I really do. As much as possible during my watch as a senator of the Republic. Pero napagsabihan po ako noon na kung gusto ko pong baguhin yung pulisiya ng pangongolekta to PTA, gumawa po ako ng batas. Now, I don't have to dahil nakita ko na po, very clear na sa akin, na meron naman pala talagang batas. Kaya lang, yung batas na yun ay hindi na-implement. Republic Act 4206 noong 1965 na inakyan, which prohibits collection and even voluntary or otherwise from elementary schools sa public schools, except for Red Cross, except for in fact, the only ones that was mentioned was Red Cross. Now, noong 1969, RA 5546 was enacted para ma-amend yung 4206. Dito po sa 5546, mas lalo naging malawak po yung prohibition sa collection. Maybe the good sponsor might want to react doon po sa dalawang batas na aking pong nabanggit.
Thank you. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. No, here, change. Mr. President, the concern of the gentleman was raised during the hearing, and the Vice President Secretary of DepEd responded by mentioning Department Order Number 49 series of 2022, which is a no fee, no collection policy. Tama ba yun? No fee, no collection policy, which they are strictly implementing. And it was further discussed during that hearing that there is the PTA in almost every school that does their own fundraising efforts. And it being a parent-initiated organization, they are allowed to do that. So, in connection with the law that His Honor pointed out, that is exactly consistent with the department order of the department.
But the
which is a
department
no
order
colle-
cannot
if I may-
supersede.
if I may just
right,
continue, Your Honor.
Okay.
So the department order has the very same policy. No fee, no collection. The department and all their subordinates, meaning the teachers, are not allowed to initiate or to tolerate these collection efforts. But this does not prevent the parents from having their own fundraising. This system has been practiced for decades. Ayan, finally lumakas. This system has been practiced for decades, and it has been a private initiative of the parents that has allowed many projects to see the light. No, anything from gate, fencing, gardening, events. It's a PTA initiative, and I think that's why it was mentioned that if there is a desire to change that policy, there must be a law, because currently the DepEd order is consistent with the existing law mentioned by His Honor.
Okay, Mr. President, may I ask the good sponsor kung sabihin niya sa akin yung bang department order na yon at saan po doon sa dalawang batas na binanggit ko, RA 4206 and RA 5546, alin doon na nagsasabing pinapayagan na mangolekta ang mga eskwelahan o mga magulang para sa kontribusyon sa eskwelahan. Can you please show it to me? Maybe I can help the good sponsor para mas mapabilis tayo rito, if she will allow me to.
Your Honor, if His Honor Mr. President, if His Honor can give me a minute to just review, and then I will be happy to yield the floor, of course, anytime.
Yes, sure, session suspended for a minute.
Can I clarify this?
Site niyo yung voluntary, sir. So, site niyo yung site niyo yung portion na voluntary.
Ha?
Sir, kung na-mention niyo po yung may remember po. Yung law po, sir, nakalagay, i-stress mo voluntary or otherwise.
Sige. Sana ba yung kinukot ko sila po? Ah, okay.